to welcome everybody back to the channel. Hey, welcome everybody back to the channel, man. I'm your boy, AK. You're at my channel, AKA TV, man. And we're going to be going over a truck driver pay review. We're going to be discussing Prime Inc. We're going to be going over Prime Inc. drivers pay for 2024. The week, I think this is the third week of April. All right, give a shout out. And the driver we will be reviewing today is none other than Miss Slime Pack herself. And she does such great trucking content. She is a content creator. She drives trucks, and she does a great job. Basically just giving out good content, man. Good stuff to review, good information. And we're also going to be going over how much does a owner operator make, right? Because I know y'all got a lot of questions about owner operators, and if you want to get into the trucking industry, I also have another video about whether or not the trucking industry is going to get better, or is it getting better, or is it getting worse? Because the market's been kind of bad for some of us out here over the road. So we want to make sure that we giving good, balanced information as we're out here surfing out here on the web, out here on these YouTube streets, man. We don't want y'all out here messing up, man. We want to go ahead and give y'all the most information that's going to help you out and make you successful. Because we don't want to be successful by ourselves, man. Here we go. This is Miss Slime Pack. Miss Slime Pack. We're gonna go ahead and open her right on up, man.
Whichever one, and this is a 2-stop load after the pickups. Back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel.
Hey, this is my first time watching this video,
like,
too.
Comment, share, whatever it is. Any one of those, and you'll be a part of the Slime Pack Nation family. But we're going to go ahead and jump into what this video is about.
Okay.
So, we're going to go ahead and talk about this load and get that part out the way. So, I'm going to go ahead and...
Are those condoms on her bunk? Shout out to the condoms.
No, I'm previously recording this part because the rest of this vlog will probably be at night.
Okay.
Most of it will be at nighttime. So
okay,
we got a load picking up in Greenfield, Indiana, or Indianapolis, whichever one. And this is a 2-stop load.
Yeah. After
the pickup. So I'm gonna be dropping off in. I got 2 stops in Ohio. So supposedly this load is only supposed to be 22,000 pounds. The first stop supposed to be taking 6,000 pounds off, and then the last stop taking 15,000 pounds off.
Okay.
It is a dropping hook at the pickup, and of course the rest of the other stops is a live unload. So hopefully these unloads be in and out, because they don't have to take much off. Currently, the date that
I do not like those multiple load stops. I don't like them.
Recording this video, it is April the 17th. I'm getting my 10-hour break in, and then after that, I got about 30 miles to travel to pick up this load. It's a dropping hook at the 01 at the Smithfield. So I'm gonna drop this trailer off there, pick up my load at the Smithfield, and then drive about, I think it was 300 something miles. I'm gonna try to get over there towards my first stop and park at a truck stop. I already got a truck stop in mind, and y'all already know it's a Lowe's. Of course, I'm a Lowe's girl. And we're gonna park there until it's close to our appointment time. Our appointment time is not until 2300. Convert that into, you know, the regular standard time, that is 11 p.m. So we're gonna try to arrive over there maybe around 9:30. So y'all like this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe.
Oh yeah.
Seems like my words ran together. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe. Go over to Facebook, follow me, like, comment, share, and yeah, y'all, let's get into the video. All right, just got done doing one of the most important part of the business and how we get paid. Sending in
trip pack.
paperwork. And I had to hit them with that stamp right there. Try to make sure I get paid. But yeah, this paperwork won't that much. We just gonna fill up for this trip. It's a total of,
yeah, here we go.
I don't think I'm gonna fill up at all. I'm gonna just fill up for this trip because I'm not sure how freight is. Because if freight is anything how it was whenever I was last out, then yeah, we just do the fuel real quick. So Prime had recommended that I fill up at Love's number 601.
She's doing some numbers.
The price
Good
of
job, girl.
$2.98. But the thing is, I'm getting ready to pop it up there on the screen for y'all.
What you did.
Currently where I'm parked at, fuel is already $2.98. So
that's a good thing, man. Look, like I said in the previous video, let me minimize this screen, man, because one thing about Prime, like I said, they have great fuel prices. Man, shoot.
I might as well get fuel here instead of having to make an extra stop on my route whenever I can just get.
In real talk, a strategy that I have used driving either with Prime or any other company, like if it's early in the week, like if it's a Monday or a Tuesday or however your week is set up, you know, but if it's early in the week, I'll go ahead and fill my fuel tank up with that cheap fuel because I know I'm going to be running into other markets where the fuel is going to be more expensive, because more than likely she'll probably be headed into the north or going into the Midwest, man. And you want to go ahead and have that cheap fuel in your truck, because once you get up north, it's going to be around about $4.50, $4.90 per gallon. So $3.90 is absolutely fantastic. I hope she fills up. I hope she fills both tanks up, man.
Here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think I'm gonna fill up. I don't think I'm gonna fill up at all.
Damn. Damn.
Just fill up for this trip because I'm not sure how freight is. Because if freight is anything how it was whenever I was last out, then yeah, we just gonna fill up for this trip.
You know what? I understand.
It's a total of, I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna fill up for 450 miles. So, go to my calculator. 450 miles, we're gonna divide that by, we're just gonna say truck getting 8 miles per gallon. So we need 56 gallons of fuel. Fuel is $2.98. So that's about how much I'm gonna be spending in fuel for this trip. That's how I calculate my stuff.
If it was early in the week, I would have gone ahead and filled up. But she's banking on the week being, she don't know. She don't know. And that's good that she don't know.
What is up, Slime Pad Nation? This is the same day. It's just nighttime. It's currently like 11:30 p.m., somewhere around that time.
Yeah.
And I'm about to fuel up real quick.
Good.
Uh-oh. Oh, wallet. Okay, there we go. I think I'm gonna put like 60 gallons in. I need my phone. All right, there we go. All right, Slime Pad Nation, I got something to say. Without being disrespectful, mean, or I don't know, I'm gonna just say it. Whenever it comes to people, like, you know, viewers that watch videos, it's like the ones that critique the most, but don't make content. Like, it's a lot of work that goes into making this content, setting up cameras, the editing process. It's like when people just critique, say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you need to do it this way, do it that way. Like, you know, pressuring you, like telling you what you need to be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. Like, at this point, it's like, how about you do that and you go make your own videos? Like, telling you.
She right though, man. Hey, it is a lot of work being a content creator. Bless her little heart. Shout out to her. Because without you, there will be no me.
And I don't be meaning no harm, but I guess how I say it, people just get so sensitive and in an uproar about things. But
I don't want to hear you complain, though. All that complaining. That's an interesting view. Like the GoPro is on the mirror. Okay, she giving us some backing. Okay, I thought the video had froze. Okay, she's going. All right, setting it up. Hey, she got the elbow out the window. Yeah, super truck. I see you. She set it up at a 45, just like they teach it. It's a damn good job. You know, I was trying to figure out that camera angle. That's a damn good job, man. Let me shoot, man. Give her some. Good job, bro. Okay, let me tell you, a lot of us just came back out here. We can't.
all right, let's go drop this trailer. So y'all, my load not ready. My appointment time, it was an open window from 12 a.m. Yesterday morning until like 4 a.m. this morning. It is currently like, I think, maybe 1 a.m.
And you know what? The trucking industry, right? Logistics, because it's a part of the logistics altogether, right? In the logistics market, because what's happening is you have warehousing that's going through a transition, and that affects the trucking industry as well. So I'm gonna make some content about what's going on into the warehousing, because warehousing is making a transition from humans over to artificial intelligence or robots, right? So they're making a transition. Like if you've ever, I spent some time at Amazon, and Amazon is working on all automated pickers, right, and robots in the warehouses, right? And it's just a matter of time before they get the robots to start communicating with the artificial intelligent trucks, right? And everything's going to be sequenced together, right? And communicating together. I'm gonna be making some content on that later on, though. But yeah. So warehousing is going through a transition right now, so that's going to affect drivers right now.
The guy at the guard shack said they haven't even started filling the order. It's not even supposed to be like a full load, so hopefully it don't take long. Back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
My plan was to get over here, pick this load up, hit the road, and be already parked by 6 or 7 a.m.
Yep.
Then I was gonna get my 10-hour reset in and then head over towards my first drop-off location. But of course, in trucking, things don't always go according to plan. So right now, we're getting ready to bobtail over here to the parking. Or they said I can park in front of my trailer that they loading. That would be perfect. I can go ahead and get that hook up and pick up inspection out the way. Right there. That's full right there.
I know that's right.
Now it's currently 6:02 a.m. and the load finally ready. Been off duty.
I wonder if
5
that's
hours.
my computer, that robot.
Finally get ready to go out here and hook up.
Slime
Not
Pack,
right now,
is
but
that
it's
my
right.
video? Your video that's making that robot
I have
sound.
weird dreams. Pins still got to come out. Check the other pins. Out. So just that one. I need to rock it forward a little bit. So yeah, we're about to head over here and get this paperwork.
That is a very interesting view, like I said, because you got the front of the truck as well as the side, the complete side of the truck. That's good. I don't know what that music is. I'm gonna just go ahead and just turn that down. Yeah, man, she's doing a good job backing it up so far, you know. Like, that's a wild view though. Like it's kind of throwing me off.
That's 282. And the Lowe's is, it's a TA right there. The Lowe's is 258 away, so.
Calculating those miles.
My trip is 301 miles.
Okay.
50 miles, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna go to Lowe's.
Start navigation. You are heading to Love's Travel Stop 332 Burbank, Ohio.
Yep. Hopefully, you know.
That's what I use too. I use Trucker
6:43.
Pass.
By the time I get on the interstate, it'll be a good 7 o'clock. Hopefully I can be parked by 11:25. That'll put me getting my time back around like 9 something. I could be leaving by 10. My appointment time is at 11:30.
Overnight drive.
So 11:30 tonight and 8 in the morning.
Any drive time.
10 hours and 19 minutes of driving. So yeah, let's go.
She's not going super far though. For I don't know, 327 a mile. I thought she was going to be giving us some more content, but let's see what.
Several big companies that short.
This lady right here, man, shout out to her. This is who I get most of my good trucking content about the market, about rates. She's very thorough. She's informative. You know, she's easy on the eyes. She has a lot of good content. I don't know her name for sure. I think it's Michelle or something. I'm not sure. But she owns at least she runs a trucking business. I think flatbeds, but she cover all freight. And she uses information off the web that's public information. But I'm sharing it to you. Maybe it'll be helpful to you. We're going to check it out, break it down, see what she's talking about. Has trucking hit rock bottom, or are we still on the way down? Hold up.
Period of time. And after reading your comments, thank you for your support, by the way, I realized that I was not the only one who had a complete wreck of a week. And actually, after reading the news, I realized that it wasn't just us smaller guys and gals who are struggling. We just happen to have less of a safety cushion than the bigger players, so we feel it more. But the reality is everyone right now is having a hard time and wondering when things are actually going to get better.
Yeah.
So let's chat about it. Ready? Let's go.
And I got the video
So
sped
over the
up
past
too.
week or so, several big companies, the big players in the trucking industry, have released their numbers, and oh boy, it's not good. First, we have JB Hunt, who has been struggling, and I quote, "The company posted a profit of $127.5 million, which was $70.3 million less than it earned in the same period last year. Meanwhile, revenue missed forecast of $3.11 billion and instead slumped 9% to $2.94 billion. Then we have PAM Transportation, another big player who reported an operating loss for a second straight period. And according to FreightWaves, PAM recorded an operating loss of $677,000 in the quarter, which followed the $811,000 operating loss in the fourth quarter. Why did this happen? Well, their president, Joe Vitrito, said that, and I quote, "Shippers' continued success in leveraging an overcapacity market to their advantage to attain rates at or below cost was the reason for the poor quarter." Now, their operating ratio was 104.2%. And if you're not familiar with what an operating ratio is, it's basically a measure of the expenses as a percentage of revenue. So an operating ratio of 104.2% means that 104.2% of their revenue went to cover their expenses, a loss. And finally, we have Martin Transport.
So basically, they're not making enough money to really profit.
Which had a decline in revenue of 7.5% from a year ago period. Now, according to their financials, their net operating ratio in the first quarter of 2024 for the truckload segment was 99.5%. So only 0.5% was actual profit. Then
wrapping your mind around the idea that you can operate a business, right? And and you haven't made anything. Good God. Like you made like a penny. You know what I'm saying? Like you operate in a business and the only thing you're getting back is a penny. And that's that's trucking for real.
Dedicated, it was 87.1%, 12.9% was profit. Their intermodal segment had a loss operating ratio of 101.5%, and their brokerage segment posted 92.4% operating ratio, where 7.6% was recorded as a profit. So it looks like
the brokers are making money though.
Their dedicated was the best performing sector with 12.9% profit. Now, what about those brokers? Are they faring well in this market? Well, the answer is no, they are not. So for those of you who don't know, who haven't seen that short, over the past week, I have had 2 loads recoursed by one broker, 2 loads that we did back to back, because the broker, who has been in business for a while, who had a great credit score and was rated good on factoring, ended up going out of business before paying our factoring company. And the worst part?
Yikes.
Filing against their bond did not work. Not because the bond already paid all the other carriers. No, because, and this is something new I learned, it was an intrastate load. It was within the same state. Both of these loads were intrastate. And the bonding company is regulated by the FMCSA, governed by the FMCSA.
Wow.
So they are not obligated to pay intrastate loads, only interstate loads. And no, the shipper, the customer, has not gotten back to me yet regarding the payment for this load. I did reach out, but I'll keep on pushing. So yeah, brokers are definitely in a tough spot right now. And the worst part is when a broker ends up going under, they drag the carriers they have worked with down with them. Now, according to Kevin Hill, who is an expert at Brush Pass Research, which gathers intelligence on key decision makers at freight brokerages, brokers are saying it's a brutal market. Signing up new shippers is a challenge, getting more loads is a challenge, and pricing something profitably is a challenge. Hill said that while there are 27,000 active brokers with motor carrier numbers operating in the US, 88% of the industry's gross revenue is controlled by the top 1,000 brokers. And the largest of those, the top 50 or so brokerages that compete with the largest asset-based truckload carriers for volumes, have suffered the brunt of the freight recession. Interesting. So now, of course, comes the question, is this rock bottom? Or is rock bottom actually much, much deeper than we initially thought? Well, Craig Fuller of FreightWaves believes that larger carriers are starting to capitulate. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I quote, capitulation, Fuller said, involves the moments where the larger carriers have realized that they're going to have to do things that they do not want to do. In other words, Fuller believes that larger carriers who survive primarily on contract rates, right? They don't really use the spot market much, are going to start making concessions and have already started making concessions in terms of rates. And because of this, he believes that the market will start improving soon. So let me explain the contract versus spot.
Let me go ahead and you know what? I'm gonna say this. For the last 2 weeks, I've gotten a lot of miles. The rate per mile wasn't there, but I've gotten a lot of miles. Like, if I'm just looking at if my rates were similar to last year's with the miles that I've gotten, I could have made a killing. But good news is here. You know what I mean? Let's see what this adjustments. Let's see what she's talking about.
Market so that we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
For the most part, contract carriers are more or less shielded from the daily fluctuations of the market. They also have set rates for a period of time, so their income side does not suffer as much as for carriers who are on the spot market. Now, the fluctuations in the spot market can be really brutal, and I'll give you a perfect example that kind of sent me over the edge. Last week, my truck got stuck for the weekend in Wisconsin. Why? Because Wisconsin, which has been a market that I have relied on for the past 5 years to have something, it might not.
Wisconsin is a good market. Like Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Good stuff come out of that market.
Be something incredible, but something. All of a sudden, that market was paying on average on a Friday 47 cents per mile for flatbed loads. Why did this happen? Because almost all the loads on the load board were partial. This is the reality of being on the spot market. You are at the mercy of the daily fluctuations that happen. And sometimes you don't even know what caused it. Now, going back to spot versus contract rates. If more carriers, especially the big guys, start accepting lower contract rates, what does that lead to? Well, it leads to these carriers being more exposed to the reality that we spot market carriers face, which means that these contract carriers start either downsizing. Some of them will be forced to shut their doors, and this is because they'll have a harder time turning a profit, right? And as this happens, the tender rejection levels will start going up because the capacity is no longer as robust as it is right now. And the more tender rejections, the more volume ends up on the spot market. As Craig Fuller said, I think as we see contract rates refresh, as new rates come in, I am bullish for that, as that is capitulation. So my point is, regardless of whether you work on the spot or on the contract market, whether you run a big or small operation, whether you have been in business for 30 years or 3 months, this is happening everywhere and to everyone. And to be quite honest, when I was reading the news and looking through these operating ratios of these big players, I was completely shocked because I was convinced that the big players got so big because they knew how to handle these challenging situations operations and maybe they were a little bit more creative or had more of an ability to handle this kind of market with maybe a little bit more ease. But you know what? Nope, not a chance. This market is brutal and it does not discriminate. So for those of you who are looking for advice of what do we do in this situation, how can we survive, right? The best advice I can give you is advice that I'm following myself. I am not a guru, but I know one thing for sure. Cut your expenses and get comfortable with feeling super uncomfortable for a while. You can't change the rates, not on the contract market, not on the spot market, but you can look at your operations to see where you are overpaying and where you can cut out an expense completely. That's what I'm doing. For example, you guys might have realized that I'm not in my office anymore, and that's because that is an expense, even though it was my personal expense. It was not the company's expense, but still, I'm a business partner. I cut that expense out altogether. I downgraded my load board. I tried to avoid the East Coast because the tolls are higher. I tried to avoid Oregon because the taxes are higher there, and so on and so forth. It's time to live lean. I'm a strong believer in the saying, when there's a will, there is a way. And I am pretty confident that the majority of you have the will to survive, so you will find a way to do it. And if you feel completely beat down, then learn to take a break, take a moment to breathe. And when you're ready, keep fighting, whatever that fight may look like for you. Wishing you all patience during these challenging times. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep...
Man, that was great information. Hey, man, shout out. Let me go ahead and give her some air horns. Trucking Made Easy, that's her name. Yeah, man, cut those expenses for you small guys. Let's do it like this right here, for you small guys, right? Cut those expenses like eating out, right? Entertainment. You might want to cut back on that, right? You might want to lay off the McDonald's, lay off the Subway, lay off that what's that restaurant, the Country Pride, the Denny's. Eating out, you might want to stop that, bro, because you know what, we can spend about $200 a week on food. You feel me? We can spend about $200 on food per week. So cut it out. You feel me? Tighten up. But good news, it sounds like rates are going back up. Just hold on, be strong, fellas, and ladies too. Hold on to be strong. But we got one more. I'm gonna go over this. Let's see, the salaries. How much does Prime Inc. drivers make? Okay, how much do they make? Just so you can get an idea on the average how much truck drivers are making out here. So it says on the average, the median income for truck drivers in 2014 was $39,520, right? And then it topped out at $61,150, okay? Company drivers are paid cents per mile. This is at Prime Inc. The average truck driver pay per mile is between 28 cents and 40 cents per mile. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but whenever you can get those miles, it'll start making sense, right? So it says most drivers can drive between 2,000 and 3,000 miles per week. And this is going to translate to an average of $560 on the low end, up to $1,200. This number can be more or less. I think drivers at Prime, they're somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500 on average. Like, people are still thinking about the good old days when they were making like $1,800, $2,200, $2,500. We're a long way off from that. Those days aren't here. All right. Just like the lady just said, man, we're kind of in a crunch, but we're gonna start moving in that direction. But we're still gonna have to do some adjusting in our spending, right? So if you drove 52 weeks, right, at those rates, you would earn $29,000 on the low end to $62,000 on the high end, right? How much do those prime drivers make? 44 cents up to 49 cents. And that's refrigerated freight. And that's between 2,400 miles and 2,800 miles. $1,100 to $1,300 per week. And if you were to do that 52 weeks out the year, you're going to make $58,000 up to $68,000. These are company driver numbers, right? Flatbed solo company drivers, you're going to make $50,000 per year, up to $59,000 per year on average. Like I said, they could be more or less. And then tanker solo, you can make $45,000 up to $56,000, right? More or less. Like that is going to be the average, right? And the one thing about Prime Inc. as well, what they do is they have a great fuel program. Like if you can run your truck, right, and you can save on fuel, right? If you can get like 8 miles per gallon or 7, it says 7.7 miles per gallon, you can save on fuel and get some incentives for making that, right? Because you're not spending so much on fuel. And the one thing that you do that, they tell you to run your truck at 58 miles per hour. That's hard to do. I ain't gonna lie. 58 miles per hour, that's just too hard to do, man. You know, you be wanting to go ahead and get that load dropped so you can get on to the next load, man. But if you have the patience to drive at 58 miles an hour while everybody else is going 65 and 70, do it. Just stay your ass out the damn middle lane. For real though, stay out the middle lane. And don't you dare touch the hammer lane. No. Stay out the hammer lane. Shoot. Anyway. So I'm in the state of Tennessee right now, and I'm on ZipRecruiter. How much owner operators are making right now on average per week. So 3,606, that is how much a owner operator is making in the state of Tennessee per week. Nationwide, the average is $4,396 per week. So if you're out there, right, and you're driving a truck and you're an owner operator, independent contractor, that's the number that you will probably be hovering around. You know, a little bit more, a little bit less, but that's the average right there. So if you ever, calculating your numbers and you're like, okay, well, damn, I only made 4,000. Well, you're near the average for the nation, right? You're around the nationwide average, so you're doing good. And if you ever get a week where you're probably doing about 5,000, you're doing great. Let's see what this is right here. It says $6,719 is in the 90th percentile wages. All right. 5% of the jobs are making this right here. Right. I don't know who the heck is making almost $7,000 per week in this market. I would like to know who that is. I really do. I really would like to know who is making $6,970. Like, what you doing to get that? Because dog, people out here crying and struggling out here. Oh man. So on average, In the state of Tennessee, $187,515. Not too bad, not too bad. Nationwide is 200,028. 575. Look, that's pretty good, you know, on the average, right? So, you know, when you finish doing the calculations over there, you finish adding up all your miles, and you're like, man, if I was to do this per week, like, let's say that you have some weeks where you make 3,000, right? It's going to average out to this right here, right? Because you're going to have some weeks where you're going to do a little bit better than what you did the previous week, a little bit worse if you add in home time. You just taking in vacation. You have some personal time. You just don't feel like driving and working that week, right? A family emergency. This is your average. 228,575. That's your average, right? Now, I would like to know who, once again, it says nuclear rate is provided by, no. Who's making this number right here? 362,000. Who's doing that? That's what I want to know. I would like to know who is bringing in 362,000. I do. I've seen that number back in 2022. I did that. Well, it wasn't 362. It was more like 300. And that was taking plenty days off that year too. I took a lot of time off. I spent a lot of weeks off, right? But I didn't get the 362. Like I said, it was 300,000. But if you're doing 362,000 now, where are you? Okay, that's what I want to know. Where are you, and how are you doing it? That's what I would like to know. All right. So that's all I got for right now. So that was a truck driver pay review. How much does an owner-operator make? Right? And you got some numbers, man. We're on the way. We're going to be doing a little bit better. Man, I hope this helped y'all out, man. This your boy, AKTV, and I'm out. Peace.